What is going on, everybody? Welcome to day 49 of scaling my AI agency from $0 to $100,000. We're currently at $6,000 cash collected. Had a pretty big day today. Was doing some high level overviews and thinking and getting some things dialed in so we can relaunch our ads here shortly. Closing some deals in our regard as well when it came to some opportunities we have coming up here a little bit later. So what I'm going to do in this video is going to break down what I did today from a high level, what I'm learning here in the trenches as I build my AI agency from scratch. So hopefully you can find some value from it. So put this video in 2x speed. You're going to save a whole lot of time. Let's jump right into what we did today. So today's actions from a simple perspective, we ended up texting some people for snow removal. So we have a giant storm coming here in Green Bay. So we're going to be getting up early tomorrow and doing some snow removal, hopefully not breaking our backs. I guess you got to do what you got to do to get some chetty, right? So we're getting that done. And then we updated our pipeline. So we made just updated a little bit more so we can track like each stage. That way it's better for like long-term tracking. From what we've seen so far, it's like this is a pretty long game, right? Just kind of start building up that pipeline, build up those opportunities here as we go. Sales process dialed in. We simplified it a little bit more based on what we already had and the feedback we got from the last call. And then we also had the idea of like, okay, let's simplify the top of funnel here. So we got the copy dialed in on the top of funnel. I think the middle of funnel is already really solid. And then we just need to re-record our VSL tomorrow. And then we have some ads coming out that are basically duplicating the winning ad that we had with this initial ad set, pretty much following that exact same kind of structure and meat. And then we're going to get those launched up here tomorrow in the afternoon. We got to get up early and do some snow, which is not going to be fun, but we're going to get through it and we're going to make it work. And then we have a long-term nurture sequence that I want to put up, kind of just broad, giving them value, like either post pitch or mostly post pitch people. I'm pretty much just giving them value. We're going to be doing this a little bit later, not right now. I'm just kind of getting some things in motion first. This is more like a long term. I think this is pretty much the last like follow-up process we really need to do here when it comes to our list and everything we have going with like the leads that come in that maybe aren't ready yet, right? They want to look a couple months ahead. We can get them into long-term nurtures. So just built out that, got everything ready. So really all we have to do now is just kind of simplify the VSL. We got the top of funnel super simplified, directly calling out our offer and what we can do for them. And then we're just going to make the video simpler. And then we're going to make the calendar a little easier as well. So it's going to be where they can pick a time first, and then they can actually fill out the form to book the call. That way it's a little easier on their end, less friction up front, and then more friction when it actually comes to scheduling the call. So that's basically where we're at on our side. It's just kind of making some key adjustments here as we, move into scaling this offer. We have pretty much everything we need to do that. I think I'm very confident in the sales process now. Just got some rebuttals in place for the objection handling, which was kind of what I was struggling with in the near term. Realize that, understanding that now. And now we're going to be looking at putting around $600 into ads here starting tomorrow. Ideally, we can get everything launched. Putting some money into ads, 600 should easily get us a lot more data. And then with the funnel being optimized based on everything we've kind of extrapolated so far, should be seeing some clients coming in here and at least calls coming in here early next week to late next week. That way we can start getting more sales conversations and eventually start getting this sales process and like everything to start clicking so we can get past this damn 6K cash collected, bro. Like we've been stalled for a fat minute and we have just an opportunity value. And obviously that doesn't mean deals close. We have about 30 grand just sitting in the pipeline, really just kind of waiting for things to materialize at this point, doing everything we can without seeming needy. And just trying to, work the pipeline in a sense, right? And kind of just try to keep putting touches in. And that's basically where we're at now. And fulfillment's rock solid. Just trying to get some momentum here. So basically long-term plans here for the agency. First and foremost, getting the paid traffic dialed in on our side of things. And then we want to get the long-term email nurture built in, which I think is going to be super beneficial. And then what I want to do as well is probably critique a little bit of the middle of funnel copy, make it very much so more required and kind of eye-catching after they do book a call. That way people actually go through it. And then do a couple simple like discovery optimizations within the talk track. I didn't get fully to that today, but I know exactly what I need to optimize. So that's just going to be a simple, once we get our next call, we have a call Tuesday, we should be able to get that re-optimized as we work through that process there. And then content marketing is going to be huge. Getting our short form platforms like Instagram and Facebook, getting some content on there, kind of treating that as like a website in a sense, getting that dialed in and just starting to scale the campaign. and really we're in the point, we're kind of in the inflection point. We've been sitting in this like stink hole for like a couple weeks. We just literally need to close one deal, and we can start funding a lot more on the paid side, and then we can actually start building out the systems we want to on the back end to really make this effortless for us. That's where we're at. Just kind of trying to stay headstrong, stay focused. We got a big manual labor day tomorrow, going back to our roots, which we haven't done in a while, which is it's gonna be fun. I mean, we're gonna try to make it fun at least. You know, you can only smile and just get through it. We already got our cash that we collected from it. Collected about 900 over the past, 36 hours. That was cool to collect, and now it's just go fulfill the work and collect the other half. So should be looking at collecting about 1,500 cash. Profit after gas is around 13. So it'll be nice to have that money coming in. That way we can start putting more into ads, and then also kind of be able to get through expenses wise here for the month. So yeah, that's kind of just an update on the agency side. I guess I'm kind of learning along the way is, you just have to really just test everything. You just have to have the logic behind what you're doing and understand what works and what doesn't. And you're going to learn it really quick if you don't already, right? So it's either you already know exactly what works and what doesn't work, or you have to go and put in ignorance tax essentially and spend money on ads to not get results or to get some results, and then kind of critique and figure out which areas are not optimized that could be optimized, and just kind of, it's almost like cat and mouse. Like you're just trying to get the mouse, but the mouse is scary and all over the place. So we're just trying to get the cheese and put the bait there so we can catch them. But I think we're close to that point. Confidence is at an all-time high when it comes to the sales process and just like what we know we can deliver. So it's really just coming down to, putting it out there and having people come and seeing it. So that's where we're at from a high level, just trying to make the most of this opportunity we have here now. One thing I did realize as well is, and I've kind of been talking about this lately, the world is shifting. We have like a situation where white collar work and like, everyday people kind of working 9 to 5s, they're at risk. Their jobs are at risk. AI could take their jobs. So it's almost like it's flipping, like it makes more sense now than ever to be an entrepreneur, or at least to be doing your own thing and, kind of control your own destiny in a sense, because AI could come in and ruin your day really quick. And that's what's already been happening from these big Fortune 500 companies. They're already laying off 20, 30%, sometimes even 40 to 50% of their workforce. And that's, painting a picture for every other company below them, right? So there's a lot of other companies that are probably putting stuff like this in the works. Just makes me feel like this is such a great time to be in AI and to like kind of just, yeah, I guess like be on the consultative side of things and also be on like the service provider side of things as well. You can kind of do both, so we're kind of in like the consultant / service provider sector, but we're super niche down to a specific type of person. I don't really like calling myself an agency. I guess this is an AI agency challenge, but I would just say we're like a growth partner. We don't, you don't really have to lead with AI in this sense. I think building an AI offer specifically for marketing agencies when it comes to helping them systemize fulfillment and client success on the back end is going to be super beneficial. And that's what we're trying to work towards as like a high scale build and release offer once we prove the concept with our own agency. Essentially kind of looking at this like, hey, it's just opening up a bunch of other doors for down the line. So I'm probably going to get some clips of us doing the snow tomorrow and kind of add this into the series, because at the end of the day, I'm looking back on the series and it's like posting this every day, proving that we're here, we're doing this, we're trying to make something out of nothing, and working with what we got. And I know I'm going to look back on this in 6 months, a year, and just be like, damn, man, dude, those were the good old days. And, that's why I'm just happy that I'm able to be documenting this. It's almost day 50 of this challenge. We've been moving really fast. We've been learning and experiencing a lot along the way. So grateful for you guys tuning in. Don't really have much more for you guys here. Once we start getting into next week, we're going to have a lot more to discuss and talk about. I'll get back into my old structure. Tomorrow's plans is really just getting the snow stuff situated in the morning, and then we're going to get the VSL recorded, and then also the new ads dialed in so we can relaunch the ads. I guess you could say we just paused them for today, so we're going to get the ads relaunched back up. That way, come Monday, Tuesday, we're going to have some calls on the calendar, and then next week's going to be pretty fast from my understanding. We're going to be having a check-in call with our client. We have some deals that are potentially going to be starting to materialize in the pipeline here early next week, and really start to get our feet off the ground here when it comes to the agency and just like from a cash flow perspective. So that's kind of the goal there. Pray for me on the snow removal side. Hopefully we don't get absolutely crushed. We might, but I guess that's what we signed up for. So we're just going to have to do the best we can to make it work. So yeah, I mean, you kind of just have to be resourceful, bro. You got to do whatever you can do to keep going, right? And that's what we're doing. Like, our back's against the wall, and we just kind of prove that you can just like shoot out some messages if the urgency is already there, and you can close $1,000 in the DMs, and that's what we were able to do. And it's nice that we have that resource just sitting here for us to take advantage of when we are in a tight spot. And like, your back's never truly against the wall. Like, you can always do something to get yourself out of a hairy situation. And that's just what entrepreneurship really is you just got to be resourceful. Like, things aren't always going to go your way, and you just got to find a way through. There's always a way through. There's always a way to see it through. You just have to be resourceful, and you got to work with everything you have, right? And that's just the raw reality of being an entrepreneur. And that's basically what we're doing now. We're being resourceful so we can get some cash flow and spend more on the acquisition side, so we can start really ramping up this agency and start getting this number up from 6K cash collected and start getting into the 5-figure range here soon. It's been frustrating to be sitting at this number for so long, but I know I think this week's going to be the difference maker. I know the end of this month's going to be the difference maker no matter what. But this number is going to start jumping up pretty quick. We're going to be sitting at 20K cash, 30K cash here very soon, which is going to be super nice. I want to start actually moving forward in this series, because I love doing this stuff, but I don't want to be doing this for 365 days. That would be pretty embarrassing. We gotta get this done in, I don't know about under 100 days, because we're almost halfway from 100, but I think we can do this in under 150 days, potentially. It could be very ambitious, but I think we got a couple months left. I'm say by Q4, at least, we should have this challenge completed. I want to be done with this challenge by summer, ideally. And if we're not done with it by summer, I would be pretty disappointed. But yeah, man, just staying optimistic and doing everything we can on a daily basis to get better and improve. That's really all you can do at the end of the day. So that's kind of the plan. That's kind of where my head's at here, moving into day 49 and going into day 50 tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to follow the journey. Like this video if you thought it was valuable, and comment down below if you have any questions, concerns, or insights for me. I'd love to hear from you. And also DM me on Instagram if you want to connect with me. I love connecting with other entrepreneurs or people that are aspiring to be entrepreneurs within this space. Shoot me a DM. Would love to hear from you. And then, yeah, if you want to break into something that's AI bulletproof and start your own AI consulting firm or agency, give me a DM too. I do have mentorship available as well. So if you want to learn what it would look like working with me and implementing some systems like this to get your agency off the ground and work with someone that's actually doing this in real time, and that's 50 days ahead of you, I guess you could say, tap the link in the description below to DM me on Instagram. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed day 49. We're pushing every single day and we're trying to get better, and that's really all we can do. So we'll see you guys for day 50. It's going to be an interesting one, to say the least. We'll see you then.